This is episode 63, the top 8 gifts that 2020 gave me. Welcome to Alive by Design. My name is Blake Mallon, and we're here to bring you inspiring people, principles, and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. Open your mind and let's dive in. Hey guys, before you listen to the podcast, I just want to drop in and say I appreciate you for being here, and I'm super excited about this new Walk With Me series. These are solo episodes where I take some time in the middle of my morning run through the Santa Monica Mountains to share some inspired ideas and thoughts on my mind and heart. If you want to join me for any of these conversations live, you can catch me many mornings on my Facebook page, facebook.com/BlakeMallon.page. Would love to see you there. Love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Walk with me for a few minutes. Happy 2021! I love the energy of a brand new year. I know for some of you, it probably feels like, it's like, we made it! You made it! It's almost like the feeling of crossing a finish line at the end of a marathon. It's like, hands up! We got through! And you deserve feeling that way. You did make it. You did get through. We are here. And on the other side of the coin, it's not just a finish line, but the feeling I hope you all have as we flip the calendar and head into 2021 is it's a new starting line. You know, I don't remember a lot of the things I studied in like elementary school and high school. I don't know about y'all, but most of that stuff didn't retain. But there's one concept that's always stuck with me, and I learned it in high school. It's a Latin word, or maybe it's a couple words. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. How many of you know what that means? In Latin, that means blank slate, a blank slate. And that's the feeling that I feel New Year always brings. It gives us a blank slate. It's a feeling of a new beginning. It's a chance to pause and reflect, to refocus, to restart, to begin again. And I know it's a cliche, but it's an amazing excuse for everybody to begin again and start anew. But what I love about New Year's is it's never really a blank slate. Even if we are committing to something fresh, something new, a restart. In life, we never really restart from scratch. We always restart from experience. And that's what I love. We never restart from scratch. Doesn't matter where you are, where you think you have to begin again from. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. And I think 2020, when it's all said and done, when we're looking back, is going to be a year that we value because of the experience that it gave all of us. No one's excluded. And I want to share just some personal experience with all of you, if that's okay, today. And just talk about some of the, I'm going to call them gifts, that 2020 brought to me personally as I did my reflection, looking back and figuring out what's the stuff I want to leave in last year. How many of you have a list of things you plan on leaving in last year? But it's not all bad. It's not all stuff that I want to leave behind and move on. There's a lot that I want to take with me and bring with me into 2021. And if it's okay, I want to share just some thoughts on my mind and my heart today on some of the gifts 2020 gave to me that I'm going to bring into the new year. I'm at the top of the peak. Yes, I'm breathing heavy, a little winded, and want to sit on top of this peak on this beautiful day and share with you just some gifts on a personal level I'm taking with me from last year into 2021. I think the first gift 2020 gave to me has to do with my health and the realization and affirmation that our personal health means everything. Matter of fact, without it, right, nothing else matters. And if there's anything I think 2020 taught me and taught the world, it's that our health must be a priority. We have to keep ourselves in the best physical shape and mental shape we can be. And I think the reason it was an added focus and added weight on health last year is because maybe for the first time in our lifetime, our own health wasn't just about us. It was about taking care of us because our health now affects the people closest to us. And I don't know about you, but that kind of added responsibility makes health the top of my list as a gift in 2020 for the health that I have and the loved ones in my life have, but also for the renewed focus on the need to make health a number one priority going into 2021. And you guys, that's something I've always valued. Obviously, I've owned and led health companies for over 2 decades now. It's always been the top of my list, but I'm sitting here saying that's a gift for 2020 to say that needs to be an even more of a focus and even more of a commitment as we go into a new year. So I'm taking that gift with me. As you can see, I'm out running, but I'm going to step it up in 2021 myself when it comes to making sure my health stays a priority. And I'm bringing that one with me. The second thing maybe that comes to my mind has to do with my family. 2020 was a weird year for really the first time in my entire adult life not able to travel. I've spent the last 2 decades in my entrepreneurial career traveling a lot. In some years it was weekly, and most years it was at least every other week. And to not be able to travel to different cities, different states, different countries for business and for leisure was a weird adjustment. And at first I was like, wow, this is weird. But the reason I say my family is a consequence of that was an extended time with my wife, Karis, with my kids, Grayson and Sadie, right, with my family. And looking back, I am genuinely grateful for the extended time and the intentional time I was able to put in with my family and my kids. I had more dinners at the dining room table at home in 2020 than I've had for the last 2 decades combined. And I'm being literal with that statement. That's a fact. So the added time with family and such awesome ages, watching my kids, Sadie turned 2 this year, Grayson turned 5, right, last year. And to be able to just spend more time with them at such amazing years of life, I think is a true gift. And I thank 2020 for that. I'm going to bring that with me into 2021. A focus on family and intentionality on family and kids. And not just my immediate family, but I spent more time on calls and videos connecting with, my extended family and other friends and loved ones than ever before. And I think that's a gift that last year brought. The physical disconnection actually brought, in many instances, more of a connection or intentional connection with many people. So to me, that's a gift for 2020. I'm bringing that into 2021. Another thing on my mind, a gift from last year, has to do with my values. One of the things that 2020 did for me personally is it kind of gave me a forced pause and challenged me to reevaluate what I truly value, my priorities. And because in many instances, our normal routines were completely disrupted. A lot of the things we maybe automatically did out of habit, did out of routine, we could no longer do. So we had to reevaluate what we were doing and what we could do. And I don't know about you, but that gave me kind of a refined focus on the things that matter, the things I value. I found that there were a lot of things I did over and over and over again, every single day, every single week out of routine. Then all of a sudden, when I couldn't do, I didn't miss. And there were some super simple things, right, that I took for granted. That all of a sudden, when those got taken away, I'm like, man, I need that. It could be something as simple as outdoors, being outside. One thing that hit me really hard last year is how much I personally value being outside, being in nature, being near the water, being in the mountains, just being in the sun, being outside, among other things. And to me, that's a gift 2020 brought, a refining or refocusing of what matters most, right? Of the things I value. So health and family, values. Another gift has to do with my environment. I was fortunate to have mentors early in life that taught me the importance of input, what we allow into our mind by the things we watch, listen to, read, people, right, that we're around that we allow to speak into us, to influence us. And I've preached for decades now that we got to mind our filter, how to flip our filter to attract the things that we want by managing our input. And guys, I don't know about you, but 2020, that shined a giant floodlight on the importance of managing the input we allow in to our mind. You know, we talk so much about diet and what we allow into our body. We don't talk enough about what we allow into our mind. And I don't know about you, but I saw the negative consequences and effects of what could happen if you just have constantly negative news, right? CNN, constantly negative news and other negative input. You can get paralyzed. You can be frozen, taken over by fear, anxiety, stress, depression, so much of it. We saw it. I saw it in my close circles. I'm sure many of you did too. So a focus on environment and the importance of minding our filter. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like 2020 built my filter stronger than ever before, right? More protective than ever before, managing my input more than ever before. And I think that's a gift that we can bring in to 2021. I'm bringing it, is a consciousness or an awareness around our environment and what we're allowing to influence our thoughts and therefore our lives. Another gift has to do with my focus, right? Focus. You know, so much of what happened last year was framed around what we couldn't do or maybe how we felt we lost something, myself included. There's a lot of things that if I want to create a bucket called lost, we could throw in that bucket. But I watched so much focus get put onto things that maybe someone doesn't have or someone perceived that they lost. One of the things that was a big lesson for me in 2020 that got anchored is the fact to focus and appreciate what we have, not what we don't. And you guys, the reality, if you're watching this right now, if you're in a place where you have a device that you can even receive this information, you have a Wi-Fi connection, right, to be plugged in, you have the time to sit and listen, you have the air in your lungs right now. I'm talking to you. If that's you right now, you're blessed. We're all blessed. And we need to have an appreciation for what we have. And our focus needs to go into all we have, all of us, with an appreciation. Not what we don't or what we maybe felt we lost. So environment, focus. Here's another gift that I am bringing from 2020 to 2021. And this one has to do with myself. And I don't mean to sound greedy, and this isn't ego or significant speaking, I don't think. What I mean about myself is I've loved the increased conversation around self-awareness, the increased conversation around self-care or self-love. And I'm bringing that with me into 2021, the fact that it is okay to take care of you. It's okay for me to take care of me. It's okay for you to take care of you. You guys, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't constantly give and not recharge or refuel. And I love that. And you guys, that's okay. It's okay to put you first. Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of others. We might have had to reinvent how we do that with the restrictions and rules and interesting times that we're in. But it's okay to make yourself a priority. I'm bringing that with me into 2021. Last couple things that are gifts on my mind this morning from last year. Next one has to do with my potential. One of the biggest shifts, and this came to me from a longtime mentor in the back half of the year, was around understanding that my potential has nothing to do with what I've achieved and has everything to do with what I've overcome. And I think that's true for all of us. Your potential has nothing to do with what you've achieved. It has nothing to do with the results you have today. It has nothing to do with the scoreboard or the number or a bank account or a metric or a milestone. All that stuff is great. But your potential, your self-worth, your identity, your value, your capacity, your potential has nothing to do with the achievement. It has everything to do with what you've overcome. And I love that shift, that definition, because of what we've all been through, especially last year, what we've all overcome. You should not only acknowledge it, you should have pride in it. You are a stronger you because of it. You have a greater potential going into this year than last year because of it. Your potential is not tied to the achievements, right, on the scoreboard today. It's tied to what you've overcome, and look at how much we've all overcome. So I'm bringing that gift with me into 2021. And the last one that I'll share with you has to do with my faith. You know, it takes hard times sometimes to really test your faith. It takes challenges and obstacles, right, to really strengthen your faith. And I think that's a huge, guys, positive consequence of 2020, at least for me, and I'm hoping for you. When it comes to my faith, is just the knowing. Just the knowing. You can call it confidence. You can call it certainty. To me, it's just the knowing that it doesn't matter what the outcome is. Whatever the outcome, it's what's meant to be. As long as I show up, play all out, do all I can do, the best I can do. That's all I can do. You guys, that's same for you. As long as you show up, play all out, and do all you can do, the best you can do, you can let go. You can let go. Because that's all you can control, and the rest you can't control. And the rest, guys, is up to faith. Because if you know you show up, do all you can do, the best you can do, play all out. That's all you can do. That's within your control. And the rest, guys, the rest is how it's meant to be. And whatever the outcome, it's what's meant to be. You know, Bono had it right. How does it go? You don't get what you want, you get what you need. I believe that's the truth. And you guys, that knowing gives a level of calmness, stillness, peace, confidence, certainty. And I'm bringing all that with me going into 2021. So guys, there's a couple things on my mind and my heart today. I look at last year, 2020, and those are the gifts, at least a few of them. I'm sure not all of them, but a few that I'm going to be bringing into the new year with me. And I appreciate you letting me share all of them with you today. And obviously, I wanted to give you a little insight into what's on my mind, but also I hope some of that inspires you. Are there anything that I said that maybe you're going to take into next year with you? What are some of the gifts that you have as we turn the calendar that you're going to bring into 2021 because of what you've been through, your experience, right, last year? You guys, I don't know about you, but I'm going into 2021 a different person than I was in 2020. More resilience, stronger, right? Better because of what last year brought. And that's why I'm so excited about the year to come, is because of the experience, right, that I have going into it. And I'm willing to bet if you be real with yourself, you're going to realize you're a better you. You're stronger. You're more resilient, right? The version of you stepping into next year is better than the version of you stepping into last year because of last year. And for all of that, I challenge you to think big. I challenge you to have a big vision. I challenge you to get excited, right? Why not get excited? Because of all we have in front of us, tabula rasa, a blank slate, not starting from scratch, but starting from experience. And so much awesome experience that last year brought that we get to bring into a better 2021. Happy 2021, everybody. And here's to making this year, right, better than the last. And bringing all the gifts last year gave to us so that we can go out there and make 2021, right, an amazing year for us, our loved ones, our family, and those that we can contribute in the world around us. In the meantime, hope you're safe, stay healthy, and here's to launching a brand new year together. Thanks for walking with me, everybody. Take care. Hey guys, one last thing. I'm super excited that this new podcast, Alive by Design, just went live. You see, I designed the show to bring you inspired thoughts and fascinating conversations with the world's most impactful people, to provide transformative principles and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word now. Simply subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on this platform right now. So if I've ever given you value, please do me this personal favor and go subscribe now. And if you found today's episode helpful in any way, make sure you share this with at least one friend today. You have the power right now to change someone's day. So send them a text message with a link to alivebydesign.com, or simply copy and paste the link right from this podcast platform. Who's one person you know right now that you want to see succeed, that you want to see grow, that you want to see feel more alive? Shoot them a text with your largest takeaway from today and be a light in their day. And if you were referred here by a friend, make sure you shoot them a text back and say thank you. I'd love to hear from you directly on what you got from today's podcast. So if you're up for it, drop by my Instagram @BlakeMallon and shoot me a DM. And as always, thank you for showing up. I'm grateful for you, and I hope our time together today in some small way helped you feel a little more alive. Until next time.